Sy Ari da Kid, you just dropped a hot one on us, bro. Rebellion, featuring Benny the Butcher and Saha the Prince. That's the new
Yes,
single off the
sir.
new joint.
Hmm.
Man, if any single was ever easy to pick, this had to be one of them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For me, yeah.
What was the process behind not just the title of the song Rebellion, but bringing those two complete total lyricists together for this one?
I mean, when I first did it, when I first got the beat, it was like there's really five versions to that beat. A lot of people don't know that. Um, so I ended up having my producer add some drums to it because it was drumless. And then, right around that week when I had it, I really only did when I did the verse, I put a hook on it, then I left it open because I was waiting to do my second verse. And around that same week, Benny was recording like maybe a couple lights up from the street from my office. So I was like, when I found out he was over there working, I was like, yo, let's connect some. I was talking to Harlem like, yo, I got a joint on the album that'll fit him because I feel like the beat really caters toward his style.
Mm-hmm.
Once we did that, my man was like, yo, you should get somebody else on it. So I reached out to a couple people, Saha being one of them, Fabulous, a couple people that I really respect. And he Saha hit me back immediately, and I said, "Yo, have you done something with Benny?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, I gotta put this together.
Definitely.
I gotta put this together for the culture that who love people who love the MCs and niggas that rap. Man, I gotta make it happen." So that's what ended up happening. That's how they got together.
One thing I love about your style, bro, and I'm not by no means saying these people aren't hot because some of your collaborations are guys who are on top of their game, legends, but you
Hmm.
don't like to go grab the hot guy who got the hot whatever. You seem to grab people that fit what you're trying to do. How accurate is that statement?
No, super accurate. I mean, it doesn't mean I don't want to work with somebody hot because there's been times where I have, you know what I mean? But it got to be timing for me, right? It got
Mm-hmm.
to be like, prime example, like, it's a lot of new young niggas out right now that I'm fans of that I would actually do music with. It's not that I won't do nothing with nobody hot. It's just that a lot of the legends, they will take the time to see who else is coming up and that's fire that they paved the way for, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like when I got shit with Jadakiss, Lloyd Banks, with these type of niggas, it's because they actually wise enough to know somebody had looked down to them when they was coming up. So, but with the new guys, like prime example, when I did the joint with Bryson Tiller, you gotta think at that time when me and Bryson dropped this song called Priorities, I was probably the only person with a song with him. So I had the song with the hottest nigga in the world at that time. Just that whole 2014, 2015 year range where
Facts.
he dropped Trap Soul. And I had already had a record, but the reason I got that record is because when I was hot and he was coming up and nobody knew him, he reached out to me and I was humble and I was like, yo, I fuck with your style, bro. We could work. When nobody else was working with him, I did that.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? When nobody else was looking for him or he had no crazy following, I was on the phone with this nigga doing a session in the kitchen because it's like niggas they always jump on some shit when somebody hot and when somebody, smoking. Of course you gonna reach out then, but it's like, would you reach out to a motherfucker off of just based off of straight talent?
Mm,
And I think
definitely.
the people that I have, like Benny, you gotta think like my first time meeting Benny the Butcher in person was this nigga came to my concert.
Damn.
Like without even this nigga DM, he was already following me because of this chick named Kat from the Bronx. She connected us, but that the same night of my concert, bro. Picture this: I'm at my Shadow in the Shade one concert, and he DM'd me while I'm backstage and was like, "Yo, I'm about to come to your concert. I'll be there in 30 minutes." This how he messaged me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I had a nigga come to my concert, let him in through the back door, came in that bitch 20, 30 deep, and we've been cool since. So it's like, and then, we got close because he asked me to do a favor for his artist. Yo, I got an artist coming up. He a big fan of you, so can you knock it out for me? I said, send it through. It's done. And I do shit off we come from the hood, so I like doing a little bit of barter and, even exchange. That's how it works for me. I ain't got to go in my pocket, say less.
Of course, and I love hearing shit like that. I love hearing stories like how things come together like that because most of us think it's like some crazy animated story, and that's as generic, that's as genuine, grassroots as it gets right there.
Nah, facts for sure.
You're ending the Shadow in the Shade trilogy. What
Yes,
made
sir.
this album, this timing, make you say three is enough?
I mean, let's be honest, bro. Like a lot of things that make it to a third, that solidifies it as classic, man, with your fan base, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, when I had already did two of them, I was about to drop my R&B album first this year. My fans kept saying like, bro, where the Shadow in the Shade 3? Where the Shadow? I kept hearing it, so I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and wrap this shit up, man. Wrap up the trilogy, close out the series, so make people want to go back and get the first two that haven't tapped in, and they'll see all those legendary features I got on there, man. So I got everybody on the whole series. You got to look at the body of work. You got Benny the Butcher, you got Jada Kiss, you got Sy Ari da Prince, you got Lloyd Banks, you got T.I., you got Big Crit, you got Raekwon from Wu Tang, you got. You know what I mean? You got J.R. Ryder from Dipset. Like, my nigga, nobody pulling that
It's
independently
crazy.
like that. And you gotta think, I'm not even signed on nobody. I don't got no big homie. I don't got no street nigga putting money in my pocket. Like, I think that's another thing that make these niggas fuck with me is like, Benny said a line on my first Shadow in the Shade. He said, I got this money quietly like I'm Sy Ari da Kid. And it was like, that's how a lot of niggas look at me. They be looking at me like, yo, who got this young nigga walking around here driving what we drive? You know what I'm saying? Pulling up in what we pull up in, but we don't really see nobody giving him no money. Like, how's he? And I think that's my perception of people is like, how is this nigga moving like that with this many official motherfuckers in? But I'm not under nobody where you don't see me repping like another nigga label or another nigga. I don't gang bang like I fuck with Bloods, Crips, GDs, Vice Lords, Muslims, Chris. It's like I ain't under nobody's shit because I never been like that. But it's like I think people respect that about me. Like, yo, this nigga really self-made. This nigga really got his shit out the mud and don't ask nobody for nothing and never had to go under nobody's umbrella and really got it popping.
Man, that's dope, bro. And I'm majorly putting the cart before the horse right now, but have you
Yeah.
thought of the pivot after the Shadow and the Shade, or are you still just kind of living in the moment for February 7th?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, you know how you might watch, and I'm not saying I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna put this buggy in here.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you watch movies, right? And you see you might see like prime example, like you see John Wick 4, right? They
Yep.
ended John Wick 4 like he died, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch the movie, you really peep like it looked like the nigga might still be here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I always wanted to do those whole, like they'd be like the Return of the Jedi or like the Return of the. I might want to do a Return of the Shadow. You know what I'm saying? You never know. But the only way I'm gonna do it P, is the streets gonna have to ask me like, yo, Sy, what? Do another shade, then I might come out with the Return of the Shade type. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. That's dope. I like
Yeah,
that concept.
you got to gear your audience because they don't really know what they want. They just know they want more. You feel me?
Definitely. Definitely.
Everybody think they want more till they stomach hurt and they got shit. You know what I mean? You gotta let them digest that shit for a minute.
No doubt. No doubt, bro. This
Yeah,
album to me is definitely it's a kind of an album about struggle, hustle, and then in the end there's perseverance. But it seems and feels like you definitely made this one for the underdog, for that unsung hero.
yeah, that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole precipice of people was asking like, what do you mean by the shadow and the shade? The shadow and the shade means the shadow. The shadow basically tells you that something's there, right? For there to be a shadow, there's an object there, right?
Yes.
But it's like that because it's not in the light. There's something else in the light. But you might be the motherfucker that's influencing and really the cause of a lot of sound shift or like prime example, Benny Griselda is a big reason for why people are starting to rap again on certain type of boom bap beats.
Mm-hmm.
They to me are the shadow of that. When no one's saying it, that they bring it back, but they did. They're the reason. They might not be on radio. They might not be in the biggest spotlight of it. But those who knows that's the shadow and the shade. Like you don't see it because they in the shade because there's no spotlight on them. But we all know like them Griselda type beats is a thing.
Facts.
Like if you in the culture, you know that's a thing. Like it's a lot of these older head niggas. They wasn't dropping music. But because of Benny and them niggas, Benny about 40, my nigga dropping.
Yeah.
Nas got a Grammy over the age of 40.
Crazy.
These is the reason why these niggas is coming out rapping again. These niggas wasn't going to rap like LL and them niggas wasn't rap. I'm not discrediting them. I'm saying they got their motivation from the shadows.
That's dope.
They get their motivation from the shadow. Nobody just come on and go, oh, I'm a rapper again. Nah, you niggas ain't want to rap because you think all they want to hear is Sexy Red and Lil Baby. Nah, they don't. Nah, I watched Rock Marcy, Benny. I watched the Locks pack out 2 venues back to back, sold out with no radio push. Like, it's a crowd of people that want to hear that shit. Now, they might be all men and wear big jeans and Timbs, but it is what it is.
It is what it
ticket
is.
Sales are ticket sales.
Yep, a crowd is a crowd. I want to ask you about that though, Sy, because I can tell you either study a bunch of hip hop, you watch a bunch of TV. Like some of your punchlines, I gotta listen to them 2-3 times to catch them. Is it frustrating to be such a student of the game and such a lyricist? Do you ever have that moment like, man, they letting this bullshit pass as rap, or do you kind of gotta push past that?
Nah, I mean neither one. I mean, I don't call nobody art bullshit.
Okay.
Right. I also don't look past nothing either. So I find art in anything. Like, okay, a lot of niggas think they just nice and that's it. You know what I mean? A lot of reason why I got in rooms with a lot of niggas, you know, bro, unfortunately, it had nothing to do with my bars. It was my hooks. And I always been the hook. You know how I became the hook nigga? I became the hook nigga because, you know, back in the day when we had the studio, you ain't just have a studio to yourself. The whole hood was in there. Even the nigga that couldn't rap.
Facts.
You had a nigga in there that just got out of jail and he like, yo, I got a verse for that shit. He rapping over your shit while you writing, like frustrating you. Like, I come from that. So at that time, I learned to write fast. So when I used to write fast, I used to finish my verse first. And I used to realize, like, damn, all y'all niggas still need another 30 minutes? All right, boom, let me work on the hook. Because I got time. Yep. That's how I became the hook nigga.
Wow.
And then I was a big fan of Erykah Badu and Sade, and they did melodies. So I started this one. I was like, damn, we already rapping on the verses. It needs some melody somewhere. Because, you know, Puff was really, you know, Diddy was like the pioneer of, like, mixing the R&B with the hip-hop. I thought that was huge. I'm like, damn, he always found melody on every hook. That must be for a reason. And so I started to do that. And so I didn't ever look past when I hear, like, say, like a Soulja Boy or a Lil Yachty. Like, these niggas ain't really nice like that. Like, I would never want to hear them in a cypher. But they got a lot of good cadences to their voices. You know, Young Thug. Like, Young Thug ain't lyrical, but I like his voice and I like his melody. I'm not gonna look down on Young Thug because I'm listening to Nas and Biggie.
So you finding a piece of something in everything.
It's something, bro. It's something to everything. You know what I mean? Like the sunrise ain't no better than the sunset. You feel me? Grass ain't no different or worse than a tree. Like, trees is different. Like, I hate that we do that. Just because bamboo is the strongest tree stick don't mean I can't look at this plant that might die in a week.
Facts.
It's art and everything. So when I hear the new young nigga coming up, you know what I mean? It's this nigga right now called that a lot of older people hate. His name is Baby Kia. He yelling demonic shit all over the song. Walking down Cleveland with that stick, rah, rah, right? My young boys was singing in the car one day, and instead of me turning it off, I watched them, and I was like, oh, it's something in this shit that they like. I'm like, this little nigga sound like he got Tourette syndrome. They want a reason to yell curse words out. It's a stress relief for him. All right, fuck it. So I was looking at it, I was like, you know, this is an art to young boy. There's a reason why he's doing it like this. I may not understand it, but it's something in it that the kids like. And so I don't never look at it like, oh, this is trash. But it's like, who was going to say that when back in the day when we was listening to Onyx?
That's a great point.
Or DMX. Like, what's the difference?
Yep. Nothing can be dismissed.
Yeah, like, Onyx was yelling slam. Let the boys be boys.
Yeah.
Dun, dun. They was come up off the mic. Come on, they was yelling.
Yeah.
Street shit. But we supposed to act like that was music because we don't understand it.
People said the same thing about Bone Thugs. If my dad would
have listened to Onyx, he would have turned it off.
Yep. People said the same thing about Bone Thugs when they first dropped. Like, y'all listen to that bull, you know what I'm saying?
That bullshit, they sing it in. Yeah, that shit was dope. Shut up, nigga.
Facts. Facts.
That shit was fire. It just wasn't, it wasn't what we was used to.
No doubt.
You know, so I love everybody art, man. As long as you respect the craft, bro, and work on your craft, I ain't knocking none of that shit, man. I'm gonna listen to it.
Well, Sy, I've been privileged enough to get the early drop on the album. I'm about 9 songs in, and I tell you what, people gonna want to hear this one, bro. The Shadow and the Shade, sure. the final episode in a 3-part series, man. I can't wait for y'all to hear this. Anything before I let you go, brother?
Nah, man, go get the album, man. Check out the podcast, Sorry Not Sorry Show. Best podcast in Atlanta right now. Soon to take over the country. Subscribe to it now. You know what I'm saying? Message me if you want to work. And that's what it is, man. Keep working. Get outside. Get out the crib.
My man.